God bless you, friends. Today we're talking about communication renovation, that it might be time to throw our old vocabulary out the window and it's time for us to have a new range of vocabulary because our words are important and our words impact the relationships around us. Matthew 12:36 through 37 says, I tell you, on the day of judgment, people will give an account for every careless word they speak. Friends, careless words destroy relationships. When we don't put thought into the words that are coming out of our mouth, when we have no filter, when we don't think about the vocabulary that we're using, it can impact relationships in a very negative way. But verse 37 says, for by your words you'll be justified, and by your words you will be condemned. Why is that so? It's because the eyes might be the window to our soul, but our words are a reflection of the heart that we have on the inside. As we talked about in our last video, our words are important. And so today we're going to be looking at communication and renovation, that there are phrases that will definitely help us communicate to our spouse, help us communicate to our children, help us communicate to our coworkers. There are certain phrases that if we add them to our vocabulary, it will help us to communicate in a healthy way. Because remember the communication equation. Anytime there's an equation or a relationship that has a person that communicates in a healthy way, the likelihood of that relationship being a long-lasting relationship greatly improves, which the best scenario is always when you have two people who communicate in a healthy way. But friends, the responsibility of the way you communicate lies with you. And so take a minute to think about your vocabulary, and if these phrases are a part of your vocabulary. Please. Good morning. Have a good day. Thank you. Excuse me. You're welcome. Can I help you? I'm sorry. Can you help me? This is a big one. I was wrong. I love you. You are right. Please forgive me. How was your day? How can we do this together? I forgive you. Don't worry about it. What do you think about this? God bless you. These are just a short list of good phrases that you can add to your vocabulary that would transform the atmosphere in which you live your life. Let's think about our homes for a moment. That if we were to add phrases like these to our vocabulary, that please and thank you, excuse me should be a normal thing in our homes for us to say to our children, for us to say to our spouses, to one another that we live with. These phrases, it seems so simple, but yet they are so absent in many of our homes. God bless you. What an incredible thing. Instead of cursing one another, we can bless one another with the power of our words. We can improve the atmosphere in which we live in. How was your day? What an incredible question that can lead to developing a real meaningful conversation that we have with our children around the dinner table. You are right. Man, that can be a game changer. When we humble ourselves instead of walking around in pride. Once again, our words reveal the condition of our heart. If we never say you're right, if we never say I was wrong, it's probably because we have a pride problem. But when we can look at our spouse and we can say, I'm so sorry, I was wrong, please forgive me, it reveals a humble heart. And when we're humble, relationships can thrive. So let's take a moment now just to think about the workplace. Workplaces all across the world would be transformed if some of these phrases would be added into our vocabulary. That if we would realize the power of our words and we'd realize how important communication is, and if we added these phrases into our vocabulary in our workplaces, it would transform our workplace. Instead of being a place maybe that we didn't want to go to, or that we wasn't looking forward to walking into. Instead of being a high conflict atmosphere, the conflict level could greatly be decreased just if we would add these phrases into our vocabulary and similar phrases to our vocabulary. When was the last time you heard the word please in your workplace? Or maybe when was the last time you heard the phrase, how can we do this together? Or maybe, what about, how can I help you? Could you imagine if there was employees all over the globe that was going into their workplaces with sincerity, not sarcasm, which we'll talk about in a future video, would ask, how can I help you? It would transform our workplaces. So friends, let's realize that maybe we need a communication renovation. Maybe we need a new vocabulary range. Maybe there's some words that we need to stop using that reveal a different kind of heart than what we desire to have. And it's time that we develop and expand our vocabulary and begin to use these phrases. One more time, I'm going to go through this short list of vocabulary and of these phrases, and you think to yourself, do I use these phrases on a regular basis? Please. Good morning. Have a good day. Thank you. Excuse me. Most of the time we just bulldoze our way through a room without even taking the time to say, excuse me. You're welcome. Can I help you? I'm sorry. Can you help me? I was wrong. I love you. You are right. Please forgive me. How was your day? How can we do this together? So unifying. I forgive you. Don't worry about it. What do you think about this? Another unifying statement that can bring people together. And God bless you. Friends, your words will open doors of opportunity for relationships to thrive. Or your words will slam shut the doors of opportunity that lie before us all. So let's renovate our communication, our vocabulary. Let's add some of these healthy phrases. Let's be healthy communicators with one another. And let's have relationships that thrive. Let's have relationships that are long lasting. God bless you, friends. It's time to make family first. It's time to have healthy relationships.